A number of years ago, I created some controversy at Colorado Christian University by calling electricity generating windmills idols to a false religion. I had gotten the idea while traveling in Thailand, where the government builds large gold statues of Buddha all over the country to aid the Thai people in their worship. Windmills serve no purpose other than as religious feel-good measures for devotees of the green religion. As a Christian, I am forced through my taxes and increased living costs to pay a tithe to a religion I despise. I began to think of other ways I am penalized financially by the green cult. First, right now, a significant portion in LA County is burning up. It's the worst disaster in the city's history. California is prone to fires, and in a lot of ways, this is a natural disaster. But as I said in a recent video, it is made worse because of green religion. Forest abatement programs were prohibited by the Greens as an assault on nature, and dams went unbuilt and unrepaired because of the green cult. California enviros have discovered that water comes in real handy when you are fighting fires. And how does this cost me? Home insurance in California will skyrocket, and it will affect rates in the rest of the nation. If you rent or own, you are going to pay your tithe to the green religion. And second, yesterday I paid $11 for 18 eggs. A few years ago, it would have been $3 or $4. Different factors affect the price of eggs, things like general inflation and even bird flu. But the biggest factor is the decision by the Colorado legislature to require all eggs sold in the state be from free-range chickens. Chickens who are allowed to roam around the barnyard instead of living in cages. This law was passed because of the commitment of leftist legislatures to the green religion, which is tender-hearted toward chickens. This from a group of people who are universally pro-abortion. So when I buy eggs, I pay double the price as a tithe to the green cult. Third, speaking of the legislature last year, they abolished plastic bags because they end up in landfills, and this is allegedly harmful to the environment. So now when I shop at Walmart, I can't put my groceries in a free plastic bag. I have to pay 64 cents for a reusable bag. Each time I buy one, I'm paying a tithe to the green religion. Fourth, my utility bill is significantly higher because of doctrines believed passionately by the Greens. See my citation of Robert Bryce below. He says that my electricity bill is 3 times higher than it should be because I am required to subsidize renewables, windmills, and solar panels. It gets cold in Colorado in the wintertime, and I heat my apartment with natural gas. If we were forced to heat living space with electricity, as our legislature has proposed beginning 5 years from now, the cost would double. Even for my small apartment, that's a tithe of around $50 a month to the green religion. Fifth, the Greens are calling for our entire transportation sector to be electrical. All of you realize how much more expensive an EV is than a standard gas-powered car. That would be a huge tithe to the green religion. But even now, your taxes are being used to build EVs. The government subsidizes their manufacture to the tune of about $30,000 each. I read a recent study that said cars are overwhelmingly being driven by rich progressives. So once again, I am forced to pay for someone else's religion. Sixth, the misnamed Inflation Reduction Act, passed by Congress in 2021, is nothing more than an implementation of the Green New Deal, and it is the primary cause of the inflation that has plagued America. You are paying 21% more for everything than you were 4 years ago. And yes, this is a tithe to the green religion. And I could go on and on. The abolition of gas stoves and other appliances, the abolition of meat, and the many other ways the enviros are forcing their religion upon us. But you get the picture. The great irony of all this is that none of it addresses what the Greens call the greatest existential problem of our time, climate change. I have challenged their basic presumption that we are headed toward catastrophic climate change. I think it's an absurd prediction. But even if we are, none of the above will address it. The level of carbon emissions is growing all over the world. In China and India, they are building coal plants as fast as they can. In fact, last year, more coal was burned in the world than at any time in world history. These coal plants offset green gains in the West by a factor of hundreds. So all of the above imposed sacrifices are meaningless, except as religious gestures. This is what happens when you abandon belief in the God of Scripture. You become victim to a host of outrageously false doctrines. Christianity puts an end to cultural insanity. The only gladiatorial contest you can see today is at your local movie theater. What was big business in Rome was abolished by the Christian Church, and along with scores of other pagan practices. The great need of our age is a commitment to Jesus Christ. Faith in Him will save your soul. It would also save everyone a lot of money.